So we're at Root Farm in Sequoia, which is near Utica, west of the college. And Mr. Roger Pape is here to tell us about their mission, what they do, and we'll talk a little bit and then have a walkthrough.
So I'm Roger Pape. I'm the director here at the Root Farm. I'm a recreation therapist. I oversee all the equine, recreation, agriculture programs. Specifically work a lot with the horses and folks with special needs. We also have a hippotherapy program that we run too.
Okay. And now you're part of a larger organization?
So Upstate Cerebral Palsy is our parent corporation, and we are the sister corporation of the Root Farm.
Great. Well, we'll take a walk, and you end up seeing a real diversity here. My understanding is there are a number of activities that they're doing for revenue generation and beyond the horses to help support the therapeutic riding program. So,
Yes.
okay. And we've got, what, 8 stalls?
There's 9 stalls in
stalls.
here. And we also have another 3 stalls at the lower barn just for overflow, and then all of our turnout barns outside can be used as barns.
Right. Yeah, it was quite a bit of nice turnouts. I'll get it on video, but as we drove up,
Yeah, we try to have a turnout in each stall. That way, we can typically leave them out as much as possible.
Yeah.
Days like today, it's pretty.
yeah, in here.
Yeah. So all the stalls are 12 by 12. They all have mats. We have fans in each stall, and then in the wintertime, they have heated water buckets, so it doesn't freeze. We all know what that is.
Yeah.
When we designed the barn, we put in rubber pavers on the floor, a little easier on the horses, and any folks that have a problem walking or in wheelchairs made it extra wide. That's definitely been really beneficial. Cross ties are much more space in the alleyway to get through.
It's a nice setup. It's always nice to pick up small things, but the fan is bolted up in the corner, giving you a lot better work than if it was attached to the front grills, you know, and the electric is up high, which is nice.
Yeah. We actually ran into a switch. That way, if nobody can really get to it, it's up a ways, and everything's run off here and then gets plugged in. So it's kind of a nice feature.
Yeah. And I imagine a place like this, but any place, you know, the less cords you have running all over the place, the better.
Yes.
So safer. So notice this is a Morton building.
Correct.
Probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they do a nice job. One of the things they do is they create their interior shared walls like this, which gives airflow and communication, and a little bit cheaper than if you actually had the grills there. So it's kind of, as you're trying to save money, that's kind of a nice little thing to kind of remember. So,
Even with the metal edging they put on there is nice, because if you get a horse that's chewing,
yeah, they're gonna wanna.
they can't really destroy your horse.
Right, that's for sure.
And then the other nice part of the building is we have cameras installed, which you can see up here and here. And then we also have cameras in some of the stalls, so if there's a horse that's sick or anything like that, and someone's not here, I can see it right from my phone, which is really nice if somebody gets a cast in the stall or something.
Sure.
Get somebody here quick.
Yeah. And these guys are newer residents, are they?
Yeah, these are some of our small animals, which we use for a lot of reminiscent therapy and help desensitize some of the riders to being around animals, you know, their quick movements and things like that. We do a lot of field trips pre-COVID and a lot with nursing homes. And it seems like the smaller animals really bring a lot of memories back to people that may have been on farms before, had animals when they're young, gets them talking, interacting. So we'll start with maybe a guinea pig, then a rabbit, and then maybe the goats. And then we bring them up to one of our smaller horses and then kind of build that relationship as they go forward.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if these rabbits are smaller animals looking at them.
Yeah.
They're good size.
Yeah.
But,
And then that you can see that's our outdoor arena, which is nice. It's a nice footing, sand footing with drainage. And then on the far side of that, we just put in a pond that we're waiting for the water to fill. and we do adaptive kayaking. So we just got a grant for some paddles and seats to make the boats adaptive.
Uh-huh.
And we have
Okay.
a Hoyer lift that we can actually bring people up and set them in the boats. So that's hopefully this coming fall and spring next year we'll get that
Uh-huh.
up and running.
Fantastic. Yeah. Jeez.
And then we are basically, a lot of our programs are driven by volunteers. So we have a great volunteer orientation and training. And then we always have things posted on the board, so they know if there's anything out of order with horses, anything like that. And then different days when people come in, we'll have tasks and things they can work on in between lessons.
Uh-huh.
So some volunteers might do office work, some like to clean stalls, some like to work with the horses sidewalk. So there's a lot of volunteer opportunities.
Right.
We couldn't make it without volunteers.
Yeah. Jeez.
And then this is our feed room, which we're working on our PATH accreditation. We're a PATH member center right now.
Uh-huh.
So we have all of our first aid kit, our feeding charts, any kind of notes related to the horses, or eye wash station, first aid kit for the horses as well as for humans. So that's a big thing. Having everything labeled, a med cabinet which is locked up,
Right.
refrigerator, that kind of stuff. So it's really, really important, obviously, to have a good, safe tack room and feeding area. That way, multiple staff are coming through, or a volunteer might be feeding, they know what's going on. And then on a daily basis, we'll write down information and notes so everybody checks in and makes sure there's nothing out of the ordinary for the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that site certification is significant. Kind of once you go through it, you're better for it.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely.
you're more organized, and especially in your line of work, there's so many hands that end up being involved. That
Right.
without organization, you'd be lost.
Yeah, and the standards through PATH are really great, and they give you something to go by, so you know how to make your standards, regulations. So that's really what we're working for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Marnie wrote probably a number of those standards.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
She's been a great help with all of this too. So these are some of our horses, which are all awesome. They all work with adaptive horseback riding. Some do hippotherapy, some do groundwork. They're all multifaceted. We do have one that's visually impaired in one eye, which is kind of a really neat thing because we work with people who are visually impaired, so they have some way to relate to the horse as well. As we know, they all have different personalities, but we do put them through a training and desensitizing program for a couple months before we actually get them in the program. Then we run our staff through and then work with volunteers. We really look at the horse and make sure the horse fits the program. It's sort of like us when we're finding a job, we know what we want to do. We want to make sure the horse really enjoys the program and that it's something they want to do. And we've had, out of every 5 to 6 horses, one of them might be a fit.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like you can just go grab a horse and, it works for the program.
Right. Yeah, that's
So
for
that's
sure.
always a challenge, and then you
Sure.
gotta think about their age and their size, their gait, their movement. And the nice thing is with all the desensitizing and training, you can figure out what kind of things are gonna spook them or startle them, and you kind of know what their spooker looks like. Some of them might just be a couple steps. Like none of our guys, knock on wood, will buck or anything like that. So.
Yeah.
And they're on a regular exercise schedule with volunteers and staff. And they also are on a work schedule, so they have a certain amount of days and time off and a certain amount of number of lessons they do per week.
Okay.
And I mean, they're a crucial part of the staff. Without them, we wouldn't have the program. So
Right.
we make sure they're well taken care of.
And it's a manager and blend of giving them the optimal care, and at the same time not acquiring a horse that's going to cause vet bills,
Exactly.
or drive you right out. And I imagine if you can leave most of them barefoot, you're better off.
Yes, so we only have one that has shoes on, the rest are barefoot.
Yeah.
And most of the time they're either in the pasture or in the arena, which I'll show you that footing or a sand outdoor.
Uh-huh.
Eventually we'd like to get into some trail riding and things like that. But, as we know, with that comes another set of standard certifications as well.
Right.
So we have 2 instructors that are PATH certified, one that's Certified Horsemanship Association certified, and then one that's American Hippotherapy Association level 2, who's a physical therapist. So it's kind of nice. We have a lot of different facets and certifications.
Yeah.
We're walking and